and the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Break that. 180. 54 miles.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make...
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. T.J. Watt, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And he's got the hookup here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Flushed out right. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You know, when that happened, guys, is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Black 20. Jack 16.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Following the interception, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
We just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go, team. Quarter.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Check 52. Hey, alert.
Roethlisberger will throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Back near the goal line, Cousins. And this one held in by Rudolph. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Check. Lucky, 50. Yellow.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Stephon Tuitt able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Take it at the 37. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Danielle Hunter, his 2nd sack of the night. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Hey, that's all day, baby. Your son. Hey, take your son back to home. 180.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half. One that's featured into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers would tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's looking to find Diggs. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On 1st down, it's Cook. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 2nd and 12, Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And some room to maneuver. He's out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 58 yards. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Flush to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
Before getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a terrific return there. We're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Arrigo, 48. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 40. Listen to me. 26, Mike. 26.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squeak kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff. Because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends. Good point.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will. I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will it be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
It's our time.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, they frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. Give him 9 there, the first down completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out that heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Hey, receiver.
First down, here's Cousins, escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins stepping up. He'll try and run. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
A first down throw for Cousins. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided to better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Greystone, Travis. Smooth.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
We're going. Let's go. Hey, Can. 699. Slam. 61. Matchbox lights.
On second down and 4. Cousins. And Diggs has it. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. You've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
On first down, it's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. that doesn't happen, it looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out from the 21 at 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 12 yards that time, at a Pittsburgh first. Roethlisberger now just 5 of 16 throwing the ball, but he's got a 1st and 10. Roethlisberger being chased out left. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Sherrills to return it. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. 2nd and 5 now. Cousins 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Hey, no, easy.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
You don't see me. Leave it. Bring up 48. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. What's that?
On 1st and 10, Cousins. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first down, and they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Hayward able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Roethlisberger now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And a little floater there is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up the 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll run for it with Connor and try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short, and he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Check safety. Check safety.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. There to make the tackle, Steven Nelson. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
The Steelers gun 6-yard line.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Lynn 50. First. You go to the hut.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or did they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, 382, Lynn.
Now a run with Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.